Embracing fear and vulnerability in my own life. One example I could tell you about was moving out here to Ghana from Brooklyn. When you're in the energy of fear, you're really in hell in your lower self, your egotistical self, victim abuser mentality, 3D, so to speak. And it doesn't feel good because this is when you might start to embody different type of illnesses, sicknesses, things that you go to the doctor and they can't even help you figure out what it is because they don't have the machines and the tools to really measure that because it's dealing with your emotion. And when it's dealing with your emotions, that's when shadow work comes in. That's when you get to take the power back into yourself so you could heal through that. So when you're vibrating in a 3D, you're in grief, you're in fear, you're in apathy, you're in shame, you're feeling guilty for things that you're not even meant to feel guilty for. Maybe you're feeling other people's grief and fear and apathy because you're an empath and you're taking in that energy, but that also causes dis-ease and instability and imbalances within your own field. And that's why sometimes it's challenging to leave family, lovers, friends, because that's your family, that's your unit, that's your community, that's what you're used to, that's what you grew up in. But that's exactly what you need to do to move forward and to transform yourself out of the 3D, moving up to the 4D, 5D, and higher, right? When you're in the 4D, this is when you're starting to empower yourself a little bit more. You're more grounded, you're believing in yourself, you're loving yourself. This is kind of like that green energy, right? You're willing to do certain things, you're becoming a lot more accepting and aware of who you are, of your environment. And then when you get into the higher self, now when we're in 5D, this is more like inner light, inner wisdom, inner love radiating from within. Right? This is the new human consciousness that we're going into. Something that's already within us. It's nothing that we've never done before. It's just we don't remember it. So moving from fear for me was having to leave nursing after 13 years, going to Ghana and booking a one-way ticket. And it was challenging for me because I was just gonna go for a little bit, a couple of months, and come back, not knowing that my ancestors actually bringing me here to sit down, to heal, to release, to pay attention, to be aware of my own nonsense, of things that I had to break away from, people I had to break away from, habits I had to break away from, and being able to go through that and still going through that, being a student of life, right? It's empowering and it's also even more scary. Could you imagine fearing fear even more, right? But we know that it's false evidence appearing real, not knowing what's gonna happen, not knowing if you're gonna be stable, not knowing if you're gonna have all your needs met, things are gonna be taken care of. And when you're operating in that energy of lack and we're on a different frequency, you're here in 3D emotionally and we're here in 5D, it's kind of challenging for you to attract the things that you want because you're not even seeing it. You're not even in 5D. You're too low in your frequency. So you have to raise your energy up. You have to raise your vibration. You have to raise your awareness for you to at least be here to see it. I don't know how many times you guys had people come into your life and they were like this matching energetic vibe and then they ghost, they disappear. Either you are no longer holding that energetical frequency or they did, like, this is the type of people, like, if you've been isolating, healing, doing the work, you're here. And somebody comes and meets you here, that's because they're doing that work too. But something in them, a family, a trigger, a vice, something decides to grab a hold of them, they entertain it and they drop back down. So it looks like they're ghosting, but it's really just not an energetical match to consistently hold that vibration, to sustain it. And that's something that you have to do for yourself in order for you to manifest the things that you want, right? I've manifested a lot of things that I didn't want because of fear, right? Fear of stepping into the new. And this is the year of the snake. This is the year 9. This is all about completions and endings. It's going to be very challenging. As we see with the fires of California, a lot of people are losing their home. They're losing their stability. There's endings to businesses, endings to income opportunities, endings to relationships. There's a lot of deaths that happen. There's a lot of things that are transforming, literally forcing you to kind of like shed your skin, shed an old skin, have a new way of thinking. And one of those things for me being here is realizing I don't need so much crap. Having all these things is just feeding the consumerism trap. Wanting to buy this, wanting to buy that. When I think about everything that I had when I was starting my tarot channel a few years ago, I had my nice marble table, I had all the lights, the camera, I had everything. I had everything in my possession, but I was also not stepping into that consistently, right? But that was me going through that 3D to 5D shift physically, emotionally, and mentally. I was already there, but there were still some things emotionally, not 100%. There were still some things that were still holding me back, like fear of believing in myself, fear of taking action, doing the same thing and getting the same results, right? All these things were inhibiting me from actually seeing there's a new life that's unfolding for me. So when I did finally take the leap, and it's challenging because you're worried about what other people are going to think, you're worried about how they're going to pursue you, you're worried about when you're going to see them again. And there's some people that you're okay if you don't see them. You'll be okay if you hear from them, you love them, but it's not like you saw each other like that anyway. So it's nothing that's going to change, right? There's a lot of people that I don't see, I don't even hear. I may not hear for my birthday. If I don't hear from them, I might hear from them New Year's or Thanksgiving. And that's not a real connection to me. And I didn't want to keep perpetuating those relationships. It doesn't matter how important or how long they've been in my life. I want something more sustainable, more grounded, more loving, that has more depth to it, which means the aspect of me that was accepting that, I had to shed that. That skin had to go. I had to let that go, right? Being here, it's a lot that I get to appreciate. Running water, electricity, light, real in-depth connections. People that can actually be honest. They're doing their work, but they also could be real. They could be authentic, and yet they also support you in your evolution. They want you to grow. They're not gonna baby you. They're not gonna pacify you, because they're afraid of your success, or they're afraid of you passing them, or they're afraid or jealous or whatever those energies are, because that happens. They're really going to hold you accountable, right? That's an interdependent relationship, not just physically, but also emotionally, to hold the weight of the relationship. And all these things are things that you're going to have to really assess and see if you're being authentic in your way of being, your way of thinking, and what you want to manifest, especially in this year, 2025, the year of transformation. And getting a hold of balancing all your energy centers, all your chakras, not just the seven. We have hundreds, okay? We have hundreds, but at least the ones that you have control over in your body. And after that, you can get to the 8D, the 9D, the 10D when it comes to your chakra awareness. But right now, when we're dealing with the lower aspect, the 3D, that's the fear, guilt, shame that we're moving past. It can't go with us the next phase, into this age of Aquarius, into this 5D, into consciousness. Really, it's not, I mean, we may start seeing things, I'm pretty sure, because the veil is already coming down even more, but it's also an emotional thing. That whole trip is really going to help you to levitate your mindset to a higher vibrational awareness, so you're not in that lower thinking. Whenever you do get in that lower thinking, automatically, let me switch it, let me change that thought, because I know what I'm thinking, I'm also creating. Move away from, okay, you used to be in a relationship where someone would spaz out on you and you would go back and forth with them. Now you're like, you know what, this has nothing to do with me, and I'm gonna hold space for you to go through your shit, so I can make sure that I'm in my own energy. And when you're ready, I'm more than open for us to discuss and talk about it. And then also making sure that if you did something wrong, or someone else did something wrong, or there was a discord there, you want to make sure that it comes with change. It's not just somebody just gonna say something and then, oh, that's it, all right, so now we're good, we change. No, you need to physically change, and that especially goes for you, because whatever you are doing, however you're feeling from the inside, that's what's going to radiate on the outside, because we're literally light frequency. We are a spectrum of light, trapped in that spectrum of light. Until we transcend it, we expand beyond it. And you got to be courageous. When you get into courage, now you're in the 4D, now you're in the inner love, you're going towards 5D, inner love, inner guidance, inner awareness, inner truth, inner vision. Meditation is going to be very important this year. If you haven't been doing that already, I'm telling y'all, meditation is probably going to be the number one medication or drug prescribed to the world. Meditation and breath work, it's probably going to be those two, because it allows you to slow down your heart rates, calm down your nervous system. It allows you to think, to heal, to feel rather, so that you can slow that frequency down and to catch the image, to catch the beauty, to catch the message, to catch the miracles in those moments. But you can't do that, right? You can't do that if you clouded. You can't do that if you're all over the place. You can't do that if you're in fear. You can't do that if you're scared about what other people are saying or thinking. You can't do that if you're going to easily trust anybody else's guidance in your own path and what you need to do. You could listen, you could see what works, you could even try some things, right? Or implement some things. That term tries is a whole nother thing, right? You're either going to do it or you're not. But this year is requiring for you to actually just go for it and to do it. This is the perfect year to support that, because it's just the energy of transformation. It's the energy of completing something that you were doing before that is not serving you. And it could be anything. It could be something that, like for me, tarot is something that has always been calling to me, but I kind of stopped. I slowed down. There's been a lot of things that I had to learn. There were some more lessons I had to learn, some more confidence I had to implement within myself, and just more consistency, really. That's really what it was, just consistency. That masculine energy, when it came to consistency, it wasn't there. So I had to work on that. And you got to be vulnerable enough to take accountability to actually say that and to see that within yourself. Only then will you be able to allow yourself to take the leap of faith, right? Then you could release the fear and you could be vulnerable enough with others, telling them your truth, experiencing things from a deeper level, right? Coming here from Brooklyn to Ghana, it was challenging. I didn't really share with too many people because I know not many people was open to hear that, and be supportive in that. And I think that's because for the past few years, I always say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go there, I'm going to go there. And it was always like, oh, why are you going so far? Why are you doing this? It was always a doubt, or maybe they're afraid for me, maybe they're trying to protect me, and all of that is considered. However, you live this life. And the last thing I know, I remember I used to say this in junior high school, I do not want to be in my deathbed wishing that I've taken some certain leap of faith to do certain things. Now, of course, you want to do this in a balanced way where you're not going to literally put yourself in harm's way. And sometimes self-isolation might look like that, but sometimes you need that isolation for you to think in your own energy, for you to hear your own sound, your own frequency, your own inner guidance, your own inner light. And sometimes it might take a month, it might take 3 months, it might take a year, it might take 3 years, and you get to honor that. And the people that trust that, they see your light, they see that you've been about upliftment and support and love and just self-development and growth, they're gonna support that. They're gonna support that. Now, it's not on your terms. Some people might just want to cancel the relationship altogether. Your friends ain't hollering at you no more, certain family members, whatever, and you get to accept that, right? That was part of the deal. That was part of the deal. But that is a transformation and a change and a path that you're going on for yourself. And of course, you already know not many people is going to be taking certain paths with you. Some people, their time is up in your life, or your time is up in their life. Either way, you have to take that and you get to honor that. But when you're operating in fear, you're saying to yourself that you don't have faith. You're saying to yourself that you don't believe in divine miracles to happen in your life, divine timing. You're saying that, you're not patient enough. You feel like you know better, you could do better. And that's a problem for source, for the universe, because they're saying you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to go so hard. You don't have to work harder. You can work smarter. We can co-create this together. And the best way to do that is to become aware of your thoughts, to meditate, to clear that energy, to release fear, do something different with your life, embrace being more vulnerable. If you've been someone that's been very secretive, or and I'm not talking about people that's gone through gang stalking or hurt, trauma in relationships. Of course, there's a certain type of level of balance that you get to have when it comes to being vulnerable with just anyone. But find your one, your twos and your threes that you can actually be vulnerable with. You can talk to, you can express your authenticity to your dreams, how you feel, and they're not going to judge you. They're going to accept it because they either know what you're talking about, they've gone through it, or they embrace it and know that you're going to evolve past it, right? That's one thing that is definitely going to help you in this transformation, being able to be that for yourself and allow yourself to receive that from others. Okay, so I really hope this helps you guys, because I know right now it could be challenging for several different things you're trying to do, you want to get done, and maybe you're not sure exactly which way to go, maybe because out of fear. Even having a vulnerable conversation with your loved one might be challenging for you. I challenge you to go ahead and have that conversation. Find better ways to express yourself. Use the right word. Don't blame. Don't say you. Use the words I and we. We left the kitchen dirty. How could we develop a better system to not stress each other out? Because that's really what it is. We're interconnected into this plane of existence with others around us, and you want to be open to assisting each other and to supporting each other for your growth. Actually get clear on what happened, what that was. It could have been something that they were going through. It could have been something that you were triggered by and you had to see and pay attention to it. You just never know. But the year of the snake, this is definitely going to be teaching you a lot. It's going to be showing you a lot. So pay attention, take the leap. Okay, make sure that you're working your vibrational frequency. Shameless plug here, I have a Lucy ebook in the description box. You could you don't have to email me, but you could click the link. It'll take you straight to there. Go ahead and grab that for yourself to raise your vibration. Great tips. I'm very excited about that ebook. Looking forward to sharing it even more with some people. So if you're interested, go and grab that right now, and really take the time this year to pay attention to every experience that you're getting and seeing how you could show up differently. Maybe you reacted this way. Now you want to react this way, right? Maybe you showed up in the lesser way. Maybe you weren't listening. Maybe you rather just ghost and not communicate. Now this is an opportunity for you to embrace this challenge. Maybe it's asking you to communicate. Maybe it's asking you to forgive and still move forward, even if it feels uncomfortable. Own up to that, and that's okay. The more we face these fears, the easier it is to release the falsities of them, okay? Because whatever we're fearing, we're actually projecting other people to create for us to even fear even more. So the more you work through that, and you allow the shedding of the snake of this year to assist you in transforming the way that you think, transforming the way that you're being, transforming the way that you're showing up, easy peasy. Okay? Eggs and peasy. Is it eggs and peasy? Easy peasy. Eggs and greasy. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. But thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below any parts of this video that you resonate with, that you want to expand on. I would love to hear your thoughts and your ideas and your reflections. And let me know what are some things that you're working on this year, and some things that I could even come out and talk to you a little bit more about. Again, making this trip, it was worth it. It was so worth it because it allows me to see aspects of myself that I couldn't see, and cloudedness of judgment of others or even of myself. You have to remove yourself, however way you can get that done, and trust in the process. Easier said than done. Trust me. Easier said than done. Shit ain't easy. It's not easy. It really isn't easy. But once you do it, little by little, it will become easy. Little by little, after the third try, the fourth try. Sorry, I said tie. After the third try, the fourth try, now you're kind of like, oh, okay, I've gone through this dark night of the soul so many times at this point, and I've always been caught. It's only right that I release this fear and just have more faith that everything is gonna work out for me. And it's a statement that you might not believe at first. So you might want to say it to yourself a few times. You might want to wake up with those kind of thoughts instead of grabbing your phone or sleeping in. You might want to just pop in some affirmations, you know. Oh, I also have a meditation. If you join the email list, that's also in the description box below. You can get a free meditation that I put together to assist you with that. As soon as you wake up in the morning, pop it in your ear, go use the bathroom, sit down, enjoy 10 minutes, and let me know how you like that, all right? Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.